Hello, and welcome back to Dragon's Dogma. Last time, we were just about to talk to Barnaby about his problem.
Pray, lend me your ear, Arisen. We have need of your help. You have my thanks. Beyond lies the Everfall, an ancient place that sleeps beneath Grand Soren's stones. We pawns have long served as keepers of the entrance to this place. But since the dragon's coming, a strange aura has filled the Everfall. A presence. If it be some omen of evil to come, we cannot allow it to go unchecked. I ask that you seek out the cause of the change, or some proof of what's happened. The Everfall is a place unique unto itself. This is not a simple task, nor a favor I ask lightly. Which is why I ask you, Arisen. Please, lend us your aid.
Well, it appears the Everfall has become possessed, so I think we're going to need to get some backup in the form of items and people. There's the knowledge chair for this area, but we already had to sit down with Mr. Satan, so we're good. We're gonna hop into the rift and find us some new pawns. End up picking up a fighter named Sandor, who unfortunately doesn't look anything like the Hound. And a hideous attempt at a Final Fantasy Black Mage, a sorcerer named Vivi.
I am honored to travel with you.
And they both have squeaky voices. So this is our team.
Be they man or pawn,
this is a place quite restful to my kind.
The Everfall is known to all, though few regard it as aught more than another ruin. Fewer still venture near it. Perhaps they fear it, and so shun it as they do the Pawn Legion.
Ought we adjust our inventory?
Here we take a little rest.
If you're newly come to the capital, why not take the day to walk its streets, find your bearings? Have your pick.
Oh, we did, Aslam.
What will it be today?
Believe me. And here's what happens if someone rents your pawn and returns them. Lunathex rented Mr. Satan. We didn't get any RC because he didn't kill anything with him, but he did give him some items. He's looking a bit more Mr. Satan-y, as well as a Pilgrim's Charm, which temporarily increases the amount of experience you
Here we
gain.
can rest, manage inventory and skills, and so on.
Yes, it is. And as you can see, he also was rated appearance, helpfulness, and all that. You can give 1 to 5 stars.
To see you again. You remember me, yes? Madeline? Yes?
Yes, of course we remember
You'll find
Madeline.
naught but the finest wear.
Moving on, though, we enter the Everfall. Quite dark, but we're ready for it. Let's see, I mean, people shun it like the pawns. What are they? Dungeon racists? Let's see, this place looks pretty... Oh my god. It's filled with bats, Barnaby. No wonder no one wants to come here. What, is every other pond filled with bats too? Jesus. And I just can't help myself. I gotta get that harpspud sauce. Maybe I'll pronounce it correctly one of these times. A daring jump. Whew. But now, how in the hell am I gonna get back? Well.
None would believe Grand Soren.
That went well. It's okay though. Oh god, now I got a bat. Oh, it's just... Oh god, zombies. These are zombies. They are quite durable. Very, very difficult to stagger. And they will often grapple you. As they are currently doing to Sandor, he is, yeah. Sandor is currently getting munched on.
Help me!
While I sit by and watch. However, zombies do have their weaknesses. For one, they're slow. Pretty dumb, as you can see. They're also weak to holy and fire. So yeah, fire damage, holy damage, all good ways of dealing with zombies. And that noise doesn't sound good. In fact, that noise sounds bad. But it must be on another floor. You can't see it. Oh, that bat had some large nuts for going against the Arisen alone. But I guess anyone would have to. And what are items without using them? And here we see a little bit of the gimmick for the Everfall currently, is there are gates. Yes, a trick door. There are gates on each level that we have to go around. So we need to take a detour every time we see a gate. And the detours lead towards hordes of skeletons. Skeletons are fairly resistant to damage. They move a lot faster than zombies. They don't have as much health, thankfully. But they're not really weak to anything but holy. And they explode when they die. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just bones scatter everywhere. It's pretty cool. And there are several types of skeletons. But for now, we mainly deal with very weak skeletons. Try and blow them up, but they're too fast. Luckily, they're weak to a good old beating. They drop skulls and craft bones and sometimes rusted plates. Maybe scrap iron.
Strength in numbers.
Yes, and they love to pop in without calling first.
Treasure, perhaps?
It's a leather circlet. Let's see how it looks. Nah. It would cover up my eyebrow. Can't have that. Now, that lever will open this gate, but yeah, the key to the Everfall, there's a secret chamber, and the key to opening all the doors is to not open any of the early ones, to only open the later ones. So what you want to do when you're in the Everfall, the first time, is to only throw one switch, and that switch comes later, I'll show you. And that opens all of the gates at once. So, oh, big old pile of dead bodies. Gross. The zombies in this game kind of act a bit like Resident Evil zombies. Very slow, predictable, and they can grab you. However, we can't blow their heads off with the shotgun, so they're a little more durable.
There must be some structural. It's fire! Did it!
So, they can be a nuisance if they're in large groups. But other than that, they're just big HP sponges. Oh lord, I think we found the sound.
'Tis a lever controls this door, Master.
Oh my god. He's an ugly little spud. I think he heard you, Ray. Look at that. I shot him in the eyeball and he didn't even, like, react. Just kind of looked around. That's terrifying. And here we meet the second skeleton type, the skeletal mage. And he is blasting us with fireballs. And one thing you'll find that's interesting, in our little area of healing that heals us, it actually harms undead that are within it. So it's a way of dealing a little bit of damage. There, I interrupt the spell. Oh god.
We have triumphed.
And that huge thing that we saw earlier was an ogre. They are nasty. They are incredibly strong, very fast, and that's when they're normal. If they get angry, their ass turns red and their face turns... Oh my god. And I am terrified because I do not want to fight him in this hallway. And he just goes back, thankfully. Here's another way zombies can kind of ambush you. They come out from the ground. Return of the Living Dead style. So yeah, the key to zombies is simply enchanting your weapon with holy or fire and just blitzing them down.
Leave it to me.
Otherwise, they're just big sacks of HP. And combined with this horde of skeletons, with a big pack of zombies, you can be in a nasty situation. Because if they grapple you, the skeletons just stab the shit out of you too. We're going to face an ogre. We're going to need some large nuts. We're going in. Now, the ogre's weak spot is its face. And you need to have a very heavy hit to stagger it. Sneak attack works quite well, so I use my charge shot. And that brings him down to his knees. Now, ogres are smart. You can't just grapple them and carve away. If they sense that someone's on their back, they'll actually body flop onto their back and try and crush you. Yeah, they are quite dangerous. They charge his next move, which is terrifying. A drop kick, which just ruined Sandor's day.
Keep your distance.
As you can see, you can light on single body parts on fire with larger monsters. Fairly useful.
They hold the advantage.
And he fell right off the edge.
We have
Lucky.
triumphed.
So, let's get our Korean word for the day out of the way. And that is wonsoongi, ape. Or, as some might say, Ilbon saram.
What's this?
I digress. But yeah, most times when people first encounter that ogre in the Everfall, it will fall down to its death. I've had it before where the ogre will grab one of your pawns and like run off the edge, flinging both of them to its death. And then Bats had some nuts.
What's that?
And here's our
There was a path leading off
second
this
or
way as
third
well.
gate. I can't remember. Third gate, yeah. The third and final gate. Filled with a big old pack of zombies. Oh, what I wouldn't do for a throw blast right there. As you can see, it was grappling Sandor again. They
Don't allow them to swarm.
grab them
We have
Resident Evil
triumphed.
style and try and bite their neck. All for some nerdy shoes.
I shall restore your health. Hold on.
Elf shoes.
Let us fight with one!
Yeah, the Everfall is typically your first encounter with large quantities of undead. You can meet them in certain other areas before this, if you so choose, but this is pretty much your first experience with them. Especially in such quantities. Oh, and as I said, nothing comes alone. Harpies, combined with zombies, combined with skeletal mages. Yeah. Everything distracts from everything else. Here's a cool way to get rid of those sacks of HP. Always using the environment. As well, I use the charge shots to shoot the skeletons off the railings down to the lower levels so they can't target us with spells from afar. Gives us a little bit of breathing room from their bullshit.
I'm hold of one. Now, burn them to ash.
Yeah, cash money. Now, you know, zombies will drop farming equipment, like one back there dropped a hoe. So these are all former farmers, alas. And that is a giant sack of cash. 10k each giant sack. Nice little boost. Now here's the lever, the only lever that you want to pull in the Everfall. As you can see, it opens every gate at once. And as it opens the main gates, the side gates close. So you're locked off from the side areas. But we already cleared those, so that's no problem. Here's those throw blasts we could have used. If only they came sooner.
I'll heal your wounds.
Here I see a little mining spot. Typically mining spots are tucked into dungeons, in little corners. Hard to see sometimes.
I shall restore your health. Hold on. I've learned a new way.
I learned of beasts.
single nerd left.
Strength in numbers. We have triumphed.
I just love it when skeletons explode into bones. They fly everywhere. As you can see, this gate opened. And to the right is where we need to go. But to the left opened as well. And the only way to open this gate is only by pulling that one lever back there. And let's do some grave robbing. Here lies Dragon Spit. Vacant. And here lies a single skull. It's all we could find. Now they also put in a couple puzzles like Resident Evil, like the lever is missing. Oh no. Wherever could it be?
Walking bones.
Strength
And
in
for
numbers.
all that, that was, I believe, a skeletal knight, a little heavier armored. And Sandor just threw a dragon spit at it and blew him up. Well done, Sandor. Anticlimactic. And here we get some treasure. An adventurer's cloak.
Treasure, perhaps.
And a talisman. Talismans are those temporary boosts I told you about. They are fairly useful. They're used mainly in the end game to fight the very hard bosses to give you a very big boost. And here we're going to see if that adventurer's cloak looks cool. Doesn't look too good. I think I'll keep my Desperado look. Yeah, I'll keep my poncho. So now we move on. We've made it to the bottom of the Everfall. So let's check out what this presence is. Now, we've never been to the Everfall, so I'm not sure if it normally glows blue like this.
This looks interesting.
But, odd. And here we find another Wakestone shard. And with this third one, it automatically combines to form a whole Wakestone, as you saw. And here is something new in the expansion. We get our first port crystal right away. Well, let's see what's wrong with your Everfall here. Looks like we've got a bent pawn rotator. And, oh, well, there's your problem. Looks like the Everfall has worms.
I've learned what to do.
I feel more familiar with this quest now.
And we'll hear Sandor give us some good advice.
Cannot fight these tentacles. Run or escape.
He's telling us just to run.
Outstrike its tentacles.
These tentacles are part of a monster that we will meet later. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna take Sandor's advice, and, we're gonna run like hell.
Cannot take much more.
You can waste your time. Oh god, zombies everywhere. You can spend your time trying to kill the tentacles, and you can kill them, but more will grow. They are without end. So, your only hope is to run. And unfortunately, all our pawns are taken out as well. What is it? Did you see it? We'll get back to you. As you can see, when you zone out
Move!
and your pawns are knocked out, they will come with you. However, as we see here, we're going to say goodbye to our pawns, and we're going to see what happens when their timer runs out. As you can see, their health bars were flashing, but they get smaller and smaller
I cannot take much
until they're
more.
finally gone.
I was
And
clumsy.
holy shit. That's fucking brutal, yo. Like, I think throwing them in the ocean is kind compared to that. I think I might do that from now on. Who knows? As you can see there, that was the notice board for the DLC quests. But, uninteresting.
A light. In the furthest depths, you say? I see. In truth, even we pawns know precious little of the Everfall. I can say with utmost certainty, though, the light you speak of is newly come.
Probably the tentacles, too.
We cannot know if this small aberration will give rise to great calamity hence. But the chance enough is called to take action. We shall redouble our efforts here, and keep vigilant for further signs of change. A stone to recall the dead to living. You speak of wake stones arisen. Stones red as blood, ensorcelled with arcane magic. The Reaper's Scorn, they're also called. Strange you should mention it. I heard tell a traveling merchant found one in a cave not a few days past. It may come to naught, but you might seek the stone on the shelves of Grand Soren's shops.
He gives us a little more information on wake stones. Particularly just telling us we can find them on shelves.
A word, sir.
And what is this?
Are you the Arisen? I bring a message from the Duke himself. His Grace has judged your feat in slaying the Hydra most laudable. To honor your noble works, you are hereby welcome to the Worm Hunt. You may now accept orders from Sir Maximilian, Captain of the Hunt. Bring this writ to Sir Maximilian outside the castle gates. He will instruct you further. The document confers the status of Hunter upon you. Carry it on your person, always.
Man, he just runs right away. How diligent. And we get a look at the Duke's domain. The castle up at the top of the city. The Worm Hunter license also gives us a discount in stores. Well, let's help this guy out.
Duke Edmund Dragonsbane is a hero.
That stone! You've gathered enough? Perhaps with those, my son. But I fear I've not the strength to conjure their effect. A miracle! 'Tis a miracle!
Father, I...
Wilhelm! Sweet Wilhelm!
I wonder if Wilhelm did the Wilhelm scream when he died the first time.
We made it. Thank goodness.
Words cannot express my thanks, sir. I owe you more than I can ever hope to repay. You've returned my son to me. 'Tis the Maker's work you do, sir. The world is truly blessed to have you, Arisen.
Please, you give me too little credit.
Father, I...
Have nothing new to say, apparently. Mr. Satan will give us a little background on the Duke.
Bards the land over sing of his exploits, albeit in the broadest terms.
Gives us...
It seems our work here is done. Good
Thank
work,
you,
Master.
Mr. Satan.
It seems no one knows just how he managed to defeat the beast. The pawns that fought alongside him must be about somewhere. Seems this is where the merchants live. It's quite open. But where? This pawn cannot say.
These last years, Duke Edmund's seen to repairing worn fortifications and increasing the number of eyes out on watch. Grand Soren's not the largest of cities, sure, but its walls are well strong enough to keep the beasties out. All in all, not a bad place to live. Have your pick, any you like.
So, pretty much they tell us that the Duke... Yeah, hi Madeline. Pretty much they tell us that the Duke has, been fortifying everything recently.
The Duke? Now why would I place my trust in such as him? Even the daftest of dragons will ill fall before a human. So either the good Edmund is a fake, not that I can cast stones there, else he's no human. Either way, I'm not eager to give the duchy over to him. If he's the sort of demon fit to slay a dragon, what's to stop him from demanding human sacrifices and the like? Nothing. That's what. I'm sure you'll find out you
Here we
need.
pick up our forgery.
Here we are. A perfect duplicate. Tis yours.
A perfect large rotten fish.
I'm sure you'll find
Fantastic.
all you need. Boy there. Quite the pretty little item you have there, friend. Why not leave it with me a while?
And I use a little forethought and
I'll not beat round
make
the
a
bush.
forgery
I'll have the goods ready by
of the
this time
Chamberlain's
tomorrow.
affidavit.
I'm sure you'll find all you need. Anytime.
But one thing that we should note is that no one knows how the Duke beat the dragon.
I've been at my wandering a year now, all around
Yes.
Gratis. Seems something's lost or loath to be found anew. Pay it no mind. Idle muttering, friend. Now, let us talk of
Now, Renard has a quest line if you buy from him enough, and he's out looking for something.
Forgive the sudden request, sir, but I find myself in need of something and thought you might be of service. If you find it, return here to me, and I will compensate you most generously. Now,
If you
let us
make
talk of
10
business.
unique transactions
Call
with
again
Renard,
soon.
he will give you the first quest, which is for a piece of scrap iron.
Remember the item I asked you to find? It's not urgent, but I do hope you might yet locate it. Well, enough of that. To business, then.
And there you go.
That's it exactly. Allow me to discount your fare in
He gives
thanks.
us a little discount.
If I ever need your services again, I shall not hesitate to ask.
Then, after 5 more
I
unique
find myself
transactions,
in need of another item.
he asks us to find another item.
As you performed so admirably last time, I thought I might seek your aid again.
And that item is for a miasmite, which we will find on later monsters.
Yes,
And here we pick up a damsel in distress
I am
pawn.
honored to travel with
So,
you.
I believe she's a ranger, so I picked that up.
Talk is, some hero fit to slay the dragons come to Grand Soren.
Hell yeah, it is. Flex. Now here we're going to talk to Sir Maximilian for our worm hunt quest. As you'll see, I've added a hat to myself.
Ah, Arisen. My men have told me much of you. I have expected your visit. I am Sir Maximilian Eisenstern, captain of the hunt, so named by His Grace Duke Edmund Dragonsbane. I beg your forbearance whilst I detail what is expected of you in the hunt. The worm hunt license you carry permits the bearer to undertake the most vital of tasks. Those missions given by Duke Edmund himself. Of late, all our will is focused on learning of and defending against the wicked dragon. A weighty task, to be sure, but one which the fate of the realm and its people rests upon. I am under orders to lend Arisen all reasonable aid as they might require. I would pray you return this assistance in kind. Many hopes are pinned upon you, sir. It will be my honor to show you the ready charges for the worm hunt. The choice is yours.
So, we have 4 quests
Certainly.
now.
Then here are
And
the
we're going to
details.
complete them all.
I have important work for you, though some is of a less urgent nature. The task at hand is just such a case. Will you take it on? As I was setting about to find work for you, I came upon this slate. I know not its origin, nor its age, but the writing it bears is old. So old, our men could only read a few words. Dragon, scar, arisen, heart. What little we know all points to you, sir. Best you should have it. If there's aught of import written there, we need to know. Your task is to find out. Certainly. Then here are the details. We have urgent word from the Stone of the Southwest. A horde of goblins struck the fortress while it was still under repair, and they've claimed it. Though the hold is remote, its importance to our southern defenses is critical. We must reclaim it, and soon. The safety of the entire duchy rides on this matter. I would ask your help in resolving it. You have my thanks, sir. I shall send word to the hold presently. I've sent some of the Duke's swords on ahead already. Meet them there and lend them your arm. I await good word of your success. Certainly. Then here are the details. I fear this task is no simple call to action, sir. It will no doubt take time and a more subtle approach than your other work. Perhaps you've heard of the society they call Salvation. In truth, most of what we know is the product of such hearsay. They are a band of heretics who worship the dragon and welcome the perdition it brings. In the chaos come with the worm's arrival, their influence has grown. Ill news indeed. Pray, keep watch for signs of salvation as you go about your business. If you find aught, tell me. Good. I'll rest easier for it, sir. Certainly. Then here are the details. By the Duke's decree, we spare no effort in gathering knowledge concerning the worm. As one arm of that pursuit, we aid the faith in their examination of ruins and relics. One such ruin has of late become home to monsters. We've received a request for escort. They've asked for you by name, sir. What response might I give them? My thanks, sir. His Grace has commanded the utmost attention be given to such matters. Pray, speak to Father Geoffrey at the cathedral in the city for details of the task. Were the decision mine, I would set every man we have to defending our strongholds. But such is our duty.
So we have 4 quests here, and I'll ask you to decide the order in which we tackle them. But I will post more details later. Until then, we also have another decision to make, which I'll ask you as well.
Ah, arisen, sir. I find myself in a situation most dire. I thought to sell some land I own to raise capital, but I must first evict those who live upon it. This typically requires a rather involved procedure, but times are dire, and I wish the current residents gone with all haste. They'll not hear this proposal from me, but from the Arisen. They are like to weigh it carefully. You are my best and final hope in this matter. Can I rely upon your aid? Ha ha! I wagered you'd agree, and I never lose a wager. They'll not hear this proposal from me, but if it were to come from the Arisen, they'd like to weigh it carefully. Please convince the residents that leaving quickly is in the best interests of all.
So, he wants us to evict some people.
What of the eviction dealings, sir?
I'll get to it.
Right then.
What a... Oh, Lord. And his daughter.
What is it? I shall thank you not to approach me
Is
so
the
prisonably.
shitting girl.
'Tis a wide gulf of class stands between us. You would do...
Yeah, well. And it looks like, well, here's one of the tenants.
What? Who are... Our landlord would drive us from our home? Forget it. I won't go. I don't care how wealthy he is. He can't simply toss us out. I'll never leave. Ever. Not in 1,000 years.
Well, so, we have 2 ways to deal with this. We can pay Fornival the money that he needs, or we can evict the family. I leave the choice to you. And with that, we're finished for now. Next time, we will go wherever you decide.